the QMX Plus from QRP Labs. Build day number 5. Today I have for your viewing pleasure the Trifiler wound toroid and the binocular SWR bridge. Let's go take a look at how we get these things done, some tips and tricks along the way, and solder them down to the board. If you haven't seen parts 1 through 4 yet, they are linked in the description down below, and it might help you get some context if you watch those before you get here. I'll be here waiting for you. Go on over there, come on back, we'll all be good. If you want to see part 6 when it comes out, hit that subscribe button right below my pretty face here and ring that bell to be notified when YouTube decides to get notifications working again. In the meantime, let's go over to the bench. So we're going to do the same thing we did before with the drill. I'm going to hold the 3 wires because it's a Trifiler one. I'm going to hold the 3 wires in my pliers on one side. I'm going to put the 3 wires in the chuck of the drill and very slowly bring it in. Let's go do that. All right, he says about 60 turns is all you need. And it appears that he's giving you plenty of extra wire, so it doesn't have to go all the way to the end, but somewhere near the end. So I've got my drill motor, and yes, it's still the yellow one. And on the other end, I've got my pliers, so we're going to go real slow. Oh, first problem, I lost a wire already. Good to lose it in the beginning, though. Okay, there we go. Nice and slow. That looks about right to me. Doesn't have to be precisely 60 turns, but, you know, in the ballpark. And then we need to take that and 10 turns through the core. So I'll be back. There is our spider toroid. Like I said, I think spider sounds so much more impressive after all that work that we do than ant. So I made myself a little bug. I scraped off the enamel wire underneath. We need to identify these legs as AA, BB, CC. And then they need to go in the board in that order as well. Technically it's CBA when you turn it on its side. But, so I need A at the top, B in the middle, C at the bottom. I'm going to turn her upside down because that is how I scraped off the enamel wire. And we'll do the same kind of tests. We'll figure out which ones are which. Okay, so there is 1, 2, 3. So something's not giving me a good connection there. I might not have scraped enough wire, scraped enough enamel off the wire. All right, so I tested touching the wire in 2 different places. So there's enough enamel scraped off of that wire, so that's not what the issue is. The issue is some connection over here. All right, so there is A and A. Put that down. And we'll double check it one more time as it keeps squirming around on the desk. A and A. And if your meter is good enough, you can actually tap the end of the wire, and there's usually no enamel on the end of the wire. There's A and A. There's B. Do we have a good test on that wire? Yes. Okay, so we got a good test on that wire. That's A and A, so it should be one of these 2. That's B and B. And then just for grins, we'll test those last ones to see if they are C and C. Good wire? Yep. Perfect. AA, BB, CC. Good to go. Since I just turned it upside down, AA, BB, CC, good to go. We'll need that a little bit later after we get the part in the board. So right there on that one, CBA, CBA. We'll take this and we'll do the same thing. There's C. It's a little too far apart. Probably should go A, B, C instead. A, B, C. All right, those guys are lined up in that. And then same thing over here. And maybe a pair of tweezers might help. So I'll get out my toolbox that has my tweezers in it. All right, there's C. There's B. There's A. Now before we solder these down, I'm going to check them one more time with the multimeter. That one's good. Let me switch my eyeballs out so I can see better. All right, they're good. We'll get them soldered up, and then we'll try them one more time after we're done soldering. So the next part that we did was the SWR bridge. This is T507, and 10 turns on each side, no problem. This is a binocular toroid, but we're not using it in binocular toroid fashion. What happens is we're inducing some flux, I don't know what the proper terminology is, on the outside of the core, and then we're going to transfer it through to another set of wires. I spent a lot of time trying to troubleshoot why this wire wasn't connected to this wire, and if you flip it over, it's because they're not connected. You're supposed to test this way, in this orientation, left to right, in order to get them to both work. So once I finally figured out that I was testing it the wrong way, I started testing it the right way, and we're good to go. Next up, this is all of the magnet wire that I have left, which for me here is for about 8 inches of magnet wire, which is more than enough. We do need to go through the SWR bridge and land that connection. This actually helps raise up, it's a Gladware container, helps raise up the board, and it also protects all these toroids when I'm doing soldering on the bottom, because they are inside the bin there, out of the way. So now that I've moved that out of the way, I'm not sure how I'm going to approach this. I guess I'm going to come in through the bottom pretty far, and then we'll go through the toroid. And I'll use my tweezers on the other side to grab it, making sure that it doesn't kink. And then same thing, use those tweezers again to shove that into the right hole on the board. Okay, and there is one jumper. Then we need to do it one more time with another cutoff. And if you don't have cutoffs, then cut some fresh wire, because we've come to the end of toroid winding season. We are done with that. So same thing, up through the hole. And then out through the other side. And I'll get those soldered up, and we'll be done with the toroid winding portion of our exercise. And then last up, Hans is always doing this. Never throw away your solder legs when you're working with a kit from QRP Labs. Take this and bend it in half, and this becomes a jumper wire for our jumper pad. And our instructions say it is the middle jumper in the jumper pad right here, JP501. And so we're gonna carefully put it in there. I mean, you could get pin headers and use actual jumpers, but I think this is the only one that we're going to need for this entire project. And it's not something that we're going to change ever again. And she's in, and she's down. And there's no enamel to burn off of this one. So this is a good send-off for the toroid project. All right, that looks good. And that is all the toroids that I have installed for this part of this project. I think that's it for toroids for this kit. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we're done with toroids for this kit. We got a couple more things staged up to build in the next video coming out after this one, so be sure you are subscribed for that one and ring that bell to be notified. I will leave links in the description down below where you can get this kit and all of the tools that I have been using to build it all along the way to make your life a little bit easier if you decide to tackle this big project. If you want to see the last video in the series, I will have it linked here, and the next one will show up here when it's ready. Thanks for being awesome. I'll see you over there.